Welcome back. We are still talking sports, taking it to the national level now, and the confusing offseason that is the Eagles offseason just continues. Who are we talking to this week about it, Angela?
Thanks, Spencer. The Eagles just will not stop, and we are going to keep the coverage coming. This week, we have Eagles reporter Elliot Shorparks from NJ.com. Elliot, thank you so much for joining us tonight. How would you describe the Eagles roster moves this offseason?
This is the first offseason that Chip Kelly's had complete control of the team. When he was hired 2 years ago, he worked with General Manager Howie Roseman to build the team the last 2 seasons, and Roseman's no longer in the picture. So I think the best way to describe what the team's done this offseason is allowing Chip to really put his fingerprints on the roster and building the type of team he wants to build, as opposed to compromising the past 2 seasons.
All right, and while focusing on building the defense this offseason has definitely been apparent, with a head coach like Chip Kelly, offense will always be the main focus. So in signing Sam Bradford, do you think that implies that the chase for Marcus Mariota could be over?
I think that if the opportunity presents itself, the Eagles will still make a play for Mariota. How much Bradford prevents him from doing that, I don't know. In fact, he might actually help, because I think it's been shown that there's not a lot of good quarterback talent available, and Bradford might have been the best quarterback that changed hands through free agency or a trade this offseason. So the Eagles have a trade chip on their hand with Bradford. I think they're comfortable going forward with him as the quarterback, but if Mariota were to fall and there was an opportunity that presented itself, I don't think Bradford would stop them from doing that.
All right, and as the Eagles work on building the strength of their roster, how would you say that these roster moves can compare to their conference rivals and what they've been doing?
Well, they've had one of the better off seasons among the NFC East teams, that's for sure. I mean, not only do you land a player like DeMarco Murray, they take him from the Cowboys. And then they got Byron Maxwell, which was a good pickup. So they've actually added a lot of talent. And you look around at the rest of the NFC East, and, outside of the Cowboys signing Greg Hardy, there hasn't been many moves by any of the 3 teams that are really, grabbing any headlines. So, the argument's made you don't win in free agency, but the Eagles are certainly making a lot of noise this offseason while their opponents have remained quiet.
Okay, well, I think everybody knows that Chip Kelly will not stay quiet, and he has definitely put his stamp on this organization, especially during his first offseason in control. I can only imagine what the draft will bring this year. Elliot, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Spencer, I know that these moves have been nothing close to normal, but what we've seen and what Chip Kelly is capable of as a head coach, he may be onto something. What do you think?
I'm at a loss of words almost for Chip Kelly at this point. I mean, in the beginning, I was killing him when he shipped Shady out of town, but DeMarco Murray is a pretty good replacement. He actually got him for basically the exact same deal there for 5 years, $40 million. But there are so many confusing things that he's doing. I don't know whether he's trying to build around Bradford, if that's the quarterback to be. It doesn't seem to fit his system. There's so many questions, and there's so many other pieces this team needs to get competitive. But I do agree with Elliot that there's a lot of other questions surrounding the other teams in the conference right there. So, I mean, the conference just looks to be wide open at this point. It's kind of a wait and see what happens in the draft. But he's definitely got to prove a lot more here, I think, left to, for their fan base anyway. Well, all right, we're going to take another quick commercial break. But coming up next, it's time for our special edition of Plays of the Week. We're counting down the top 10 plays of our winter sports season. Keep it right here.
This is Patience Harris. This is a girls Dover basketball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.